the legend himself, Ian, absolute legend client, been working with me for 8 months, 8 months or just over now, has got in the shape of his life, right? This guy has literally achieved absolutely amazing things, lost 25 kilos in 8 months. That is on the higher end of what people can achieve. That's within the 1% of speed of results. And I just want to walk you guys through literally his journey, because it is absolutely incredible. It's going to inspire you and get you thinking about what's actually possible for yourself. So let me just see if I can clean that up. That's better. So first thing, literally, if I go back to the messages that Ian sent to me when we first started in 2024, back into 2024, he said that the biggest thing was the weekend blowouts, right? The weekend blowouts, going out, enjoying the social life. He's got a really, really social life with work and with friends outside of that. And what that meant was he'd go out, he'd drink, like most people. You've got the hangovers, you've got the weekend of just binging food, snacking, things like that. And the issue with that, right, is one, you obviously bloated a lot. Two, you're packing on a lot of calories. Three, he's adding body fat to the body, which is obviously not what he wanted to do. And the thing that he felt like is that this wasn't making him feel good. You know, how are you supposed to fulfill your potential in life? How are you supposed to feel amazing when this is the reality every single week for him? So that was one thing that he really, really struggled with. The other thing was that everything was going well in life. He's recently engaged, right? Recently engaged, loves to travel. That's a big, big like value of his. He's always traveling, which is really, really cool when he can outside of work. Career going really, really well. Works in the Shard's got an absolutely incredible job, and he loves that too. Fitness is the only thing, right? The only thing that's missing in his 30s. He's 38 now. He's getting towards his 40s in the next couple of years. He wanted to have everything lined up. Everything has been, except that one thing, right? Fitness is the only thing he felt like he couldn't control. It's the only thing he felt like was controlling itself in terms of his body, and he was just out of control of it, basically. His standards were low, right? So obviously, if somebody has not been in the best shape, or they're not where they're confident and feeling good within their body every day and their energy, obviously that's low standards, right? The low standards with his training, the low standards with, you know, like taking care of his sleep, other lifestyle habits like the foods that he eats, snacking, again, drinking, all of these things. These low standards led to where he was, where he wanted to make that big change. And obviously when you're doing that, you're not really getting the results you want. You need higher standards. Didn't enjoy the gym. This is one thing. I don't really have many people that come to me in this position, but he's just honest. Like, he doesn't enjoy the gym. He doesn't love it. It's just something he does because he knows that it's going to get him to where he wants to be. So that was a big struggle initially for him, like having to go to the gym and put in the work. One, when he doesn't really know what he's doing. Two, when he hasn't really got anybody supporting him or holding him accountable. He found it really, really tough to be consistent doing that. And also, he said that he wanted to feel and look fucking incredible. Literally, if I go back to his questionnaire form, he said he wanted to feel dangerous. So dangerous for him was not only looking great, but having like ridiculous energy levels where he could wake up every day and feel absolutely amazing, right? Switched on, focused, like productivity as high as it could be. That is literally what he wanted to feel. So, skipped one too many. So what do we do? How do we help him overcome? I'm trying to think where to put this. We'll just leave it here. What do we do to help him overcome all of those struggles, right? So number one is, which I think is the most important one, is creating a space for him to raise his standards. Like I said, his standards are really, really low. So when I say creating a space, I mean an environment where, one, he's in a community of people and a community of guys who are all pushing towards the same goal, where everybody, you know, the norm is pushing your fitness and health. The norm is getting in shape. The norm is eating healthy, training hard. Whereas like maybe in his friends group, that might not be the reality, and that's fine. He's now found that space where actually this is a norm. This is how we act. And secondly, that space with me, that space of where I'm his coach, where he's checking in with me every week. We're constantly messaging throughout the week, and we're touching base with how things are going. Like, me holding him to that standard meant that he could hold himself to that standard as well and learn how to do that even without me, right? So that was super, super important. The next thing is energy management, right? So what I mean by this is, in terms of his energy, it's very easy sometimes to think that, you know, because he's a busy guy, we need more time in the week, and he's kind of struggling with that to kind of fit the gym and stuff like that. But actually, it's usually energy management. We've all got the time to do stuff. It's just like when you've had a long day and you've got 2 or 3 hours spare, it feels like you haven't got time because you want to cook and chill on the sofa and watch Netflix. But actually, your energy is so low. Like, he found his energy was so low the will to want to go to the gym, it was a lot easier to say no to that. So what we did to just dial his energy levels up, getting him eating good quality whole nutritious foods, getting him training obviously is super important, getting him sleeping really, really well. When you have high energy levels like he did after making these adjustments to his lifestyle, guess what? When he had the hour free, it was easier to say, yes, let's go and do it. And he's not skipping the gym. So we made sure we managed his energy and didn't just manage his schedule as well. We put them two together, and that was kind of the thing that made a big difference there. Social life. Again, the guy loves a social life, which is amazing. But jumping into a journey, wanted to make a change, he understood okay, I can't keep acting this way, because if I do, that's what got me to where I am. So obviously this is not going to change. But he's also understanding as well that I don't want to cut that out completely, and I never recommend that for any client. There's no point cutting out your social life, not seeing your friends, like just literally just sitting in every single weekend and being afraid of these events, right? So what we did is, instead of having him go out, hit the fuck it button, eat everything, drink everything, and then end up throwing away all the Monday to Friday work he put in, we made sure that we went into the weekend with a plan. We helped him with menu choices. We helped him with drink choices and how to kind of manage that. And I'm not saying it was always perfect, but because he had that plan, he knew that he can go out, he can enjoy it, and still wake up on a Monday and he's moved forwards from the previous week. And that's the reality. If you've lost 25 kilos in 8 months whilst enjoying a social life, it can show you it's possible for you too. But you need to understand what are the right choices, the sacrifice that do probably need to be made, and also how to actually manage that as well. And that's what we did for him. So every single weekend he went into it knowing exactly what he needed to do. The last thing is, because he was busy, we focused on the minimum effective dose. We figured out this isn't about doing less. So many people are trying to do as less as possible and get away with putting in the work. You have to put in the work. You can't build muscle without training hard and going to the gym. You can't lose fat without potentially tracking your calories and putting in the work with that, right? So yes, we put in a high amount of work. This wasn't about doing less. It was, what's the minimum amount that we can make the most amount of progress with when it comes to the gym? For him, that was 3 days a week, roughly like 45-minute sessions. Like, finding and establishing that meant that when he did have the energy, when he did have the time, he could show up, he can get it done. And it's not, again, taking over his work. It's not taking over his social life, so he can have a nice balance across everything that is realistic for him in his life as well, right? So what we did was we made the plan complement him instead of complicating his life. Like, that's literally what we did. We made it fit like a glove, and that's obviously why he was able to sustain it and get the results that he did. So, and it wasn't just that. Because he didn't love the gym, we were like, how do we overcome that barrier? And the thing that I do with most people is we shift his mindset, we shift his identity. This isn't just about doing, it's about becoming. So I identify, like Ian said to me, he wanted to feel dangerous. He wanted to have the amazing amount of energy levels. He wanted to be in the best shape possible. So we started thinking like that guy. We understood that guy did go to the gym, even if he didn't feel like it, even if he didn't enjoy it. That guy would train hard, he'd show up and he'd get it done, he'd tick it off every week, even in the busiest week. So we acted like that person now and become the guy who trains. Whether you like it or not, it's we become the guy who trains, who takes care of his fitness and health, who has a higher standard for that as well. That is what has allowed him to effortlessly, even now, show up every single week and do what needs to be done. And that's ultimately where we got him to this next point, right? That's how we got him in this shape, right? Having the confidence to do a photo shoot, get your top off in a gym with loads of people around that you don't know, that takes a lot of balls. And he probably wouldn't have been able to do that at the start because he didn't have the body confidence he does now, right? 25 kilos down in 8 months. That is absolutely ridiculous. Like, that is crazy in terms of the speed of which you can achieve that. And that's what we do with clients, right? Our job is to make things simple, easy, and get people there fast. And when I say fast, I don't mean like you're going to achieve it in 8 weeks. You can achieve a lot in 8 weeks, but the reality is fast as in he did it in 8 months, as opposed to most people would have probably taken 2 years to get to this result. That's what I mean by speed. Like I said, he's become the guy now who is in shape. He's become the guy that respects himself, the guy who trains, the guy who lives a healthy lifestyle. It's no longer a thing that he's doing. It's a lifestyle that he's embodying, essentially. And like we said, the biggest thing was the energy levels. He has now got the energy levels that allows him to stay sharp. He's focused at work. He's building his career and focused on that at the same time. This has literally completely complemented his life in so many more ways than just literally this. This is amazing, but it's everything else that has come with that has been the biggest difference for him. And at the moment, now we've got there, the biggest goals now is, so phase 1 is obviously the fat loss. Phase 2 is we're slowly getting him out of the diet now for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And phase 3 is 2.0, this Ian 2.0. And I know this is the transformation, but I always say that this is the start of the transformation for him now. It's so exciting because we can build on this. We can build more muscle. We're going to add more size. We're going to add, bring the body weight back up, bring him to that next level. So next summer when we cut down again, he will be this, but the next version of himself. This, but 3 to 4 kilos more muscle potential, hopefully anyway. And that's what happens when you have a dialed in plan. That's what happens when you're not guessing, when you're not winging it, when you're not inconsistent, when you've got something specific that works for you, complements your lifestyle, like I said, instead of complicates it. These results are possible for anyone. You don't need amazing genetics. You just need hard work, patience, and the right plan in place. Obviously, that fits for you. So, quick opportunity for you. If I am in the moment of taking on a few guys, especially going into August. If you are somebody that's in the same position, you want to get in the same shape as Ian, but you're stuck, you're not sure exactly how to get there, and nothing's really working for you, even with the effort you're putting in, and you're finding that you're just being inconsistent because of that, right? So if that is the case, I'm offering free strategy calls. These are no obligation calls. You don't have to come away from these calls signing up. It's a no pressure thing. It's literally me just trying to get to know you, understand your goals, understand where you want to get to, what the biggest kind of struggles and barriers are for you. From there, we can go through a bit of a strategy, kind of map out what I think would be best for you to get to where you want to get to. You can either walk away joining the program and get in the shape of your life, or you can walk away with free information. So at least if you haven't got my help, at least you've got a bit of a game plan, at least you've got a bit of guidance and clarity, so you're not winging it, you're not guessing it, and hopefully moving you in the right direction. So it's a win-win situation. If you're interested in that, Instagram me, DM me the word Ian, and we'll have a little chat and we'll go from there.